Hey guys, what's going on? It's Turkey here again. So the movie I watched just recently was 300: Rise of an Empire. I know it's been out for a while since it was out on DVD. I decided to go check it out on Redbox um, for $1.50 because my thought process was I don't really want to go see something that's probably going to be garbage and spend $10 on it when I could spend $1.50 on it. And I'm really glad that I waited. It's not a bad movie. By no stretch of the imagination is it a bad movie, but it's really basically exactly what you'd expect. It's exactly the same as the first 300 movie. Um, Surprisingly enough, the entire cast is back, except for the obvious in Gerard Butler. He is in the movie, but it was very clearly that they just basically, the scenes that they used him in were, deleted scenes from the first 300 movie. Um, but, the Queen is back. Queen Gorgo, I believe is her name. Daxos, the guy who was the Arcadian who freaked out at every single thing that Leonidas did in the first movie. Ephialtes, which is the creepy hunchback-looking guy, is back. The same guy who's Xerxes is Xerxes again. And the story, the main character of the story is this guy named uh, Themistocles, I believe. And basically, instead of being about the Spartans, which is the whole point of the 300 story arc, is, and in history too, is the other side of it, which is the Athenians. And it was the Athenian navy that went up against the Persian navy, and you know, Themistocles, Themistocles, I think is what it is. Themistocles does go to Sparta a couple of times, does talk to the Spartans and everything, even requests uh, a requests an audience with Leonidas, and I mean they basically tell him to go fuck off, which I think is so funny because um, it's basically just their way of covering their ass that Gerard Butler did not sign on for this movie. Um, so, acting in the movie, because I'm going to do the rating that I did from the last review with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Acting in the movie, overall, was about the same as the first 300, so I give it about a B. Um, Again, just like the last review I did about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the storyline in this movie is the really big thing um, that hinders it. It's not bad. The storyline is it's the exact same as the first 300. There's nothing else to really say about it. It's Greeks fighting Persians, and that's about it. So for the storyline, I'd say it's a C, probably at best. The choreography, though, again, like the first 300 movie, is really good, and so are the special effects. But this movie ups the ante a little bit in that there's a great scene towards the end where Themistocles has a secret weapon that he's gonna go up and he's gonna basically run through, no pun intended, the rest of the Persian army, and it's cool because in this, his boat gets destroyed, and then all of a sudden a horse comes out, and he basically rides his horse across all these boats um, to the leader's boat, which is the main villain, is named Artemisia, and I forget what her name is, but she's the actress who was the villain in Dark Shadows. She's a great actress. I just feel stupid that I don't know her name. Um, and they fight. She dies. It's like I said. It's just basically the same exact movie, except the villain actually dies in this movie, and the heroes stay alive. So it's a little bit different than the first movie. But What I'm saying with it ups the ante is in 300, the first one, Leonidas and the Spartans power through everybody. There really isn't any. Um, I don't want to say sense of intelligence, but that's kind of how it is. They just run through the Persian army, which is cool, but there's, I mean, outside of funneling them into a narrow pass, they don't really do anything outside of that. Themistocles flat out outsmarts the Persian army. So, God, I'm actually praising this movie more than I'm negatively talking about it. So I might have to reevaluate the way I think about this. But ultimately, you know, the choreography and the um, the choreography and the special effects in this movie are really good, like you would expect out of a 300 movie. Um, but ultimately, it does fall short because of the fact that, like I said, number one, we've seen all of this basically already, with the exception of a few things. Number two, they didn't have Gerard Butler like in any new scenes at all, and I think that really does hurt it. And number three, there's, you know, it's the same story ultimately. It's not a sequel per se. It's the movie takes place at the same time as the first one, and then it goes a little bit farther forward than the first movie did too. And that's about it. So ultimately, like I said, acting is a B. They did a good job, or a decent job with acting. I shouldn't say good. It was decent. The storyline was C minus because it's the same exact fucking story, and the choreography, of course, is a B, is a B plus probably. So all in all, I'd probably give this movie a B minus. It's about average. It's, you know, which is bad because a 300 movie, in my opinion, the first 300 movie was not average, and I mean that's what this movie is. It's the best I can say is this movie is average. So if you want to go see it, like I said, it's decent enough for like a 5 minute, or sorry, for like an hour and a half. I shouldn't say 5 minute, but for a 5 hour, for an hour and a half. Damn, I can't even talk. For an hour and a half of just wanting to kill some time, it's a good thing to do. So at least give it a try. If it's on Redbox, it's like I said, it's $1.50. So go give it a try. Okay. This is Twerky. I'll be seeing you guys, and I'm gonna be posting another one in a little bit. So, yo.